So, this was my very brief introduction, and now I'm really curious and excited to hear your talk about the project Minority Report and what you are doing with speculative design. Welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Oh, hello, everybody. I'm flattered. So many people showed up here and not hanging around the beach or a beer garden. So, fantastic. Great. So, I was asked to hold a talk about what's written there, dimensions of the intercultural project Minority Report. Too boring. So, I changed the talk a bit, and I will tell you about 7 sensors and a toaster, whatever that means. If you agree with that we do something else, we're not talking about Minority Report all the time, better see and watch some toasters. It's hot enough to do so. Okay, so basically, this project is about speculative design. So I'm not very sure how much you know already about speculative design, so I'll give you a very, very brief introduction. So it's not a lesson. It's just a thing to catch up probably a bit. So speculative design is, this one's not working pretty. Here we are. So you know, as almost ready educated designers, you've heard about advertising design probably. So this is a very, very, very simple way of design because you have a product or a topic to talk about, selling chocolate bars or cars or other needful things. You have a target group. You know people who to talk to. You have a market. And you have a target to reach. Quite simple. And what you use as a design process, you use communication strategies. You might have heard about double diamond things, 360-degree branding, whatever. Then we got some other design parts, product design. Well, obviously, there is no product. This is a thing we have to design. But we still have a target group. We still have a market where our product should be successful. And a fabulous tool for product design is design thinking. I think most of you probably have done design thinking before. And to talk about speculative design, you see, well, yeah, it's no product. There is no target group because the people we want to object to are not even born yet. So we can't have interviews. And we are not producing our ideas for a market, we're producing our ideas for the society. And therefore, we left the very military style wording, and we are looking for a purpose. So we got 2 axes here, 2 things we don't know, but for that we got the bloody market and the bloody target out of our communication, which are very much alike. So basically this is the difference between 3 types of design. You can add more if you like. Come on. So, speculative design, we are dealing with time. So we have target groups which are not yet born. And we here have a very simple graph of design that means, we are here. And time is going that direction. I think there are no physicists in this room. They will say, come on, it might be a bit more wavy, but for us it's fine to say it's linear. And then we have things that might happen. So we got those cones here. So the outer cone says, well, impossible won't happen. Things won't happen in this area. And then we have a smaller area where things are possible. They might happen. Not quite realistic, but possible. Plausible is the next one. And probable is most likely to happen. And then we got the linear thing here. This is the projected future. This is when you think linear. This is when you do normal projects in companies. That means they are very successful. So companies do projects in a linear way. They are up to 100%, 400% successful if you got 100% of the relevant data. But the chances to get 100% of the relevant data tends to 0. That's why we designers don't wait for all the data, we start designing in circles. We'll tell you about that later. And then you see another cone, this one here, this orange yellowy thing. This is a preferable future. This is a future we want. This is not a future who thinks about what's most likely to happen. This is a future where we say, the life would be better if we go for that future. So the easy way to describe this is we're looking for utopia. But utopia is a very romantic word. I'm not that romantic guy, so I try to explain it to you by doubling these codes. And now we have back and forth. So here is history. And that means those cones can double. The far back you go in history, the more unprecise, the more uncertain you get. So it's quite easy to think, okay, what made you go here today? I don't like beaches. It's too hot outside. I've got no friends. Got nothing else to do, so there are reasons for it. Quite easy, quite understandable. If you go back for last month, things are getting complicated. If you go back for 10 years, the cone gets wider, wider, wider. So at the very end of it, when you say here a few thousand years, no one has a clue. And the most correct clue is probably something about evolution, which is a complicated thing. And obviously too complicated for a lot of people nowadays. So what they do is, at the end of it, when it's getting too complicated, they find simple answers. Mostly you find religious providers, gods, etc. Mostly old white men who said, I've created in 6 days, 7 days, whatever they have. Some other people say, no, scientists, there was a big bang. I, for myself, believe there is a turtle at the beginning, and this turtle standing on 2 or 4 white elephants. So nobody has a fucking clue what's going on there in the past. Everything you say and say, there could be a god, there could be a turtle, there could be a big bang, gives you information about the speaker and not about the situation really happened there. And the strange thing is, we have in history a preferable history as well. Stories we like to tell. Like, caveman. Caveman went out and hunting saber tigers or mammoths or whatever, and his wife is standing at home caring for the kids and standing in the kitchen doing things like that and can't be sportive or anything else. And we still believe that crap. We still live in a society where people stand up in politicians and parliaments and say, because caveman was hunting mammoths, we deny fully human rights for women. This is a fucking... Oh, sorry for that. This is a terrible story. We still tell our kids. We tell women. We dare to tell women. Strange enough. So you see, we have preferable histories, and they're not very good. So I can't remember a positive one, actually, today. And speculative designers, we want to change that. We don't want to be artificial intelligent machines. Because artificial intelligence machines are reproducing the past data. they swallow all the data here, everything that's happened, through the filter of the programmer, which is mostly a white male, mostly a white American male. And so the data in there, reproduced, projected for the future, I think there is not very much to expect from that. Not very much positive things. So we think, as speculative designers, we should do better. We should find other futures. We don't want those futures projected from the past. We don't want to think like artificial intelligent machines, which is quite obvious that we don't want to do it because we are designers. And probably there's no profession in the world getting hit by artificial intelligence than we do as designers. It will, in fact, break down, make disappear a lot of parts of design, print design, advertising design. All those classical things, they will probably disappear, at least they will change a lot. And there will be no jobs for us anymore. So it's a good idea to follow that idea. And I will tell you later why I'm so positive about that there are good jobs to find. So what we basically do is we are not projecting the future. We are not going linear ways. So here's the data, and from that data on we say this is going to happen. Now we're going to find scenarios. That means we are not going here in a linear straight way. We're looking for the unknown fields. We are looking for very little slightly signals. That means things that are already going on somewhere in a laboratory, or you find out in a very off-site newspaper. And we're looking for those little hints and pick them up, and then we accelerate them. And we say, what will happen if our future will be bright and shiny, or what will happen to them if we live in a neo-feudalism system like we have in the USA at the moment? What will happen to this little idea? Or we go through it and say, what will happen if we miss the 1.5 degree aim of global warming? How would this little idea will develop? And of course we do the same thing with our jobs as designers. What will happen with them? Basically, that is all about you should know for speculative design. So we are not linear, we are not machines. We try really hard to stay human and find human ideas, human futures. And to do so, we need to find those tiny little signals. And if they're bigger, so 2 people do it, or 3 people do it, when 5 people do it, it's a trend. Yeah, so those small, weak signals, and to find those signals, we need sensing systems. We need to monitor them. We have to find them. And